Hey everyone, Andrew Morrison here, also known as Andrew the Astrologer. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm super excited to just dive right in because I will be sharing 5 very powerful ways to make a Taurus man or woman fall in love with you long term. Now, this will apply for Taurus sun sign, Taurus moon sign, and this also certainly includes Taurus rising sign, which is also known as the ascendant. If you are brand new to me, I help both men and women to help them move and step into their individual power and their worth so they can elevate their relationships, marriages, careers, and wealth all completely through the power of astrology. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, consider subscribing below and make sure that the bell and all notifications are turned on. Quick disclaimer before I get into today's video is that astrology is all completely individualized. So if you are really needing deeper help and guidance with this area of love, dating, and relationships, I would love to work with you one-on-one with a private astrology reading and consultation. Space is limited, but you can actually schedule that by sending me an email, which is posted in the description down below. Also found below is a link to my free private Facebook group. I just wanted to mention this if this does seem of interest to you. All right, now let's get into it. So the first powerful way to make a Taurus man or woman fall in love with you in the long term, this is super important, which is why I'm including it as the very first talking point. It's all about getting comfortable with talking about money and finances. I cannot stress this point enough, which is why I'm including it as the very first discussion point, because you have to understand that in astrology, Taurus is connected to the second house, which is all to do with income, money, and wealth building. And Taurus people, Taurus men and women definitely value money and income, especially in the dating world. And this is something that they definitely consider when being in a partnership of any kind, whether romantic or otherwise. Now, the reason why I wanted to discuss this point right in the beginning is because so many people all around the world have a very negative perception, beliefs, opinions, thought patterns around money and finances. Oftentimes, these beliefs and opinions and perspectives about money and finances are oftentimes formulated in our early childhood years and experiences. And this is because the way that we are taught about money and the relationships and our views about money comes from our first-rate role models, which are AKA our parents, our mother and our father. So oftentimes people that grow up in families that live paycheck to paycheck, or even the parents, the mom and the dad, say very negative things about money, that money doesn't grow on trees, there's not enough to go around. They have all these very negative statements and opinions about rich people, wealthy people, that really comes into play, that really soaks up in the subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind, whatever we believe in, becomes our reality. That's why it's so important to do a lot of inner transformational work, especially when it comes to money and finances, because our beliefs, our thought patterns, are some of the most powerful things we as human beings can have. But the positive note, the great thing is that we have the power as human beings to change whatever we believe and whatever we perceive to be as truth. So I've seen this so many times play out in my clients that are dating Taurus men or women, they're in relationships or even marriages with Taurus men or women, that when it comes to being in a relationship or partnership or a marriage with another human being, they look for ways on how they can actually build their wealth. A Taurus man or woman, they definitely do not want to live paycheck to paycheck, even if that's currently their reality. They're all about, again, creating and building wealth, and they're thinking long term as far as how to become wealthy, how to become rich, how to save more money, and things of that nature. So, again, if you have very much negative thoughts and beliefs about money, you can simply take out a piece of paper, and this definitely takes time. This is not an overnight practice, but write down all of your different beliefs and opinions and perspectives about money and wealth and finances, and anything that's negative, cross it out. And you need to create a new mantra, a new affirmation when it comes to money. Furthermore, if you don't do this already, you can definitely hop on YouTube or Instagram or what have you, and do more, practice more, especially 2 to 3 times a day. Practice and recite more mantras and affirmations that deal with creating and manifesting money and wealth. Very, very powerful. So that's the first very powerful way. Now, the second powerful way to make a Taurus man or a woman fall in love with you in the long term, especially, it's really important to you that you dress to impress. You have to understand that Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Taurus is also an earth sign, which actually gives it more qualities of them being more into the materialistic world, and they very much are very refined, and they like the finer things of life. So Taurus people, something it's really important to note about them is they definitely have high standards. And so, for example, definitely find out this Taurus man or woman, what are their favorite stores that they like to shop at, and either try to shop at those same stores or shop at very similar stores. And you want to approach it when dating and being in a relationship with a Taurus man or woman, you want to approach it as, what would these outfits, how would these outfits jive well with this Taurus man or woman? Because the reason why this is important, because Taurus people oftentimes can be a little bit more judgmental and critical. They have, again, high standards, high taste. And so don't be surprised if they don't like what you're wearing, and really try to raise the bar but especially when it comes to clothes and shopping. And furthermore, to really take this to the next level, also definitely include perfume or cologne, whether you are a man or a woman, because that will really enhance the whole experience. But again, it's all about dressing to impress the Taurus, and don't dress down, dress upward. Very, very important. The third very powerful way to make a Taurus man or woman fall in love with you in the long term, it's all about expanding your food preference. It's all about expanding your palate, trying different cuisines. And so oftentimes we as human beings, we oftentimes don't always include variety, especially when it comes to meals and dining out and things of that sort, things of that nature. So for example, if you grew up on a farm, I'm just listing out the example, if you grew up on a farm and all your meals were very much the same, you ate roast beef and mashed potatoes every single day, you definitely need to change things up. You need to spice things up, and you need to broaden your horizons. Very, very important. And just as I mentioned earlier, Taurus people are very, very refined, and they like the finer things of life, and they have very high standards. So when it comes to dining out, they want to go to a 5-star hotel. They don't always settle for the worst. They go for the best, and they have high standards, especially when it comes to their meals. So that is also very important to consider when dating and being in a relationship with a Taurus man or woman. Now, the fourth very powerful way to make a Taurus man or woman fall in love with you, especially in the long term, just as I keep reiterating over and over, you need to raise your standards. So, not just raise your standards when it comes to dining out and shopping, but you also need to raise your standards when it comes to your goals in life. Taurus is an earth sign, and it's all about being very practical, it's all about structure, and it's all about stability. So, what I mean here by raising your standards is if you're not happy or satisfied in your life, you need to raise the bar and you need to, look more in the future and how you can actually make baby steps to actually improve certain aspects in your life. Just because, again, as I mentioned earlier, Taurus people can be a little bit judgmental and a little critical at times, just because they also have a side to them that they can be very stubborn, just because Taurus is also a fixed sign, and fixed gives it the traits and the qualities of stubbornness. So again, raise your standards. For example, just to help you out a little bit better, if you are in a relationship with a Taurus person, don't settle for an apartment. You want to go bigger for a house and everything like that. So that's just an example that I wanted to list off here. Now, the fifth very powerful way to make a Taurus man or a woman fall in love with you in the long term, very, very super important, that you need to be organized. Listen, I understand that a lot of times we can be very busy as human beings, and we can oftentimes just go through the motions, and we don't always have time to prioritize being very organized and being very neat. I totally understand that, but again, just because Taurus is an earth sign, they are all about stability and they're all about values. That is very important to understand about Taurus people. Taurus people have high standards, as I mentioned before many times. And so, again, try to be neat, try to make sure that if your Taurus person is invited to your home, in your home environment, always plan ahead that things are very clean, very neat, and very organized. And if you do struggle with this area in your life, definitely consider, hiring someone else, whether that's a maid or someone to come over and do like your yard work, anything like that. Just you want to make sure things are very neat, things are very put together and very organized, not just in your immediate home environment, but also collectively as an individual yourself. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this video on how to make a Taurus man or woman fall in love with you in the long term. I hope you got out of a lot in today's video, and I hope you found this video very helpful and informative. And again, if you are really needing deeper guidance and help, I'd love to work with you privately with an astrology reading and consultation, which you can actually do so by sending me an email, which is always posted in the description down below. Space is limited. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, consider subscribing below and make sure that the bell and all notifications are turned on so you never miss a brand new video here on my channel. I'll see you in the upcoming brand new videos ahead. Thank you.